Good afternoon. How's everybody doing today? Well, yesterday was a great day for this show. We actually had people in the chat. I think it's a start. YouTube's starting to figure us out. They're going to put us in front of people, and people are going to jump in the chat. It's going to happen. Well, we're 6 weeks in. Everything's working. We're here every day, so let the fun begin. Afternoon chat is Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. Ghost Mostly Media Company is bringing this free show, 100% free to everyone. No commercials, no mid-roll ads, no sponsors, no upsell. None. Okay. No anything that can cost you money. It's a free show. I'm not coming out with a line of merch, and I'm not AI. Okay. The nickname Ghost Mostly came from back in the day when I was writing lyrics, song lyrics. I liked the nickname, and when I started this project, I just rolled it forward and created Ghost Mostly Media LLC, which is a for-profit company, but this show is separate. Okay, this show is to fulfill a personal need of mine. I worked in Las Vegas for 30 plus years, meeting people every week, hundreds of people every week. And in my retirement, I miss that. So I've created a hosted live chat so I can meet people again. I like to find out from individuals what's going on, what's on their mind. I do need to get the likes and subscribers so that my channel can get monetized. But this particular show will never have a sponsor. It will never have a commercial. It's 100% free. I'm in Southwest Michigan. When I initially got into this and created this show, I was originally just missing chat. Back in the day, I used to chat and it was fun. And I'm not going to select a topic. I'm not going to say we can only talk about this or only talk about that. That's up to the chat, what we discuss. So anytime you don't like what I'm talking about, feel free to jump in the chat and change the subject. I encourage you to do so. This is an inclusive channel. Everyone is welcome here, always. I believe that everyone should be welcome. Personal belief, my opinion. That's the only thing you can get from me. It's my opinion. Okay. Just one guy sitting on one end of his couch I do smoke cigarettes and pot. I do not recommend either. I should tell you that smoking marijuana is legal where I live, recreational. I don't recommend that anyone ever break any laws. Okay. Let me throw my disclaimer in there. It's Wednesday. I actually had a good day in chat yesterday. We got a couple people in here, got to talk to them, and next thing I know, the show was over. It went fast. I enjoy meeting people, finding out what's on their mind. That's why I'm here. Okay. I'm not coming out with a line of merch, and I'm not trying to be the star of the show. Okay. I want the people in the chat to be the stars of the show. I'll just kind of drift into the background. You won't even know I'm here. I'm pretty much a ghost anyways. We're progressing. The show's progressing. We're getting subscribers. We're getting a couple of likes now and again. We're getting viewing hours. YouTube has set those up, and I do need to achieve them so that my media company can become monetized. But it's not, there's not going to be anything monetary about this channel, about this show. I'm trying to decide what I want to do with the media company. So if you have any suggestions of something that you think I could or should do, let me know. I'm not going to make any snap decisions or start anything new yet. Once I get the channel monetized, then, I'll probably start posting some videos or something like that. But for right now, we're good. As you can see, I've spent a ton of money on the set and, the production staff, the makeup artists. You know how expensive life is nowadays. Yeah, this is my living room. Okay. I've invited the world into my living room to have a discussion. So please conduct yourself accordingly. The only real rules here are please stay within the community guidelines that YouTube has established. We don't want to piss off YouTube. That's the only platform I'm on. So, let's not alienate the boss, right? I want people to feel free to speak their mind. I'm trying to project like a G-rated, I'm trying to watch my language and the subjects that I'm talking about. But if the chat populates and the show goes to like an R rating, so be it. The chat's going to have a lot more control over this show than you realize. Frankly, it is. You're going to find out that I'm going to be protective of the people in chat. Don't pick on them. If you want to pick on somebody, pick on me. I'm right here. Okay. I'm a target. Okay. Come and get me. Feel free to jump in here and tell me that I'm out of line or, what's your opinion? Until the chat populates, you just got me falling down one rabbit hole after the other on whatever is crossing my mind today. Okay. It'd be much more interesting for all of us if you guys got into the chat and you guys controlled the conversation. Like happened yesterday. It was fun. The chat actually gave me homework. I had to go back and look up a football game. It was a college game. I had seen it when I was scanning the bands last Saturday, but I skipped it. I didn't click in. So after my discussion in the chat, I went back and looked up the game to see just how good Florida really is. It was fun for me. Okay. I like talking to people. I like meeting people. I don't care where they're from. I don't care what religion they are, what race, what age, nothing. Doesn't matter to me. Everybody's welcome in here. Once the chat gets populated, I'll have other things to do. I'll be setting up polls to find out what the chat wants to talk about. I'll have to moderate the channel. From what I see on other channels that do have a populated chat, there's bots to be dealt with. I'll have to learn how to do all that. There is no production staff. Okay, it's just me. And by using my living room instead of a sound studio and not having any paid actors or commentators or anything like that, I keep the overhead down so that I don't need commercials. $13.99 a month. $13.99 a month, I should say. And YouTube gives me 2 channels for that. I think that's a bargain. I've never had this kind of power, been able to put anything on TV I want. Wow. Well, the problem is I don't know what I want to put on. Okay, I'm looking for ideas. I'm looking forward to finding out what the chat wants YouTube to provide that's not already there. The only thing I've been thinking about are like instructional videos. Just tailor-made, you know, basically little 50. I don't want to spend all my time film editing. That looks like a hard work. That looks like the kind of stuff I'd need to hire someone to do. Okay, I have no desire to become a master film editor. I just want to meet and talk to people. As far as what's on my mind today, I had a light lunch, so I'm looking forward to dinner. So I got dinner on my mind. Okay. Our weather finally broke and it's changing up a little bit, and I think fall's right around the corner now. The temp outside today is 59. So fall's coming, whether we're ready for it or not. Okay. This is the trick that goes with trick or treat. Okay. We thought summer was going to last forever. 2 days ago, it was 80. Okay. So it's going to work out. Well, this will be a totally different thing in wintertime. The way I got it set up right now is after the show, after sitting for 2 hours doing the show, I go outside and go for a walk. get some fresh air, clear my mind. Then I come back home and wrangle dinner. Which is chicken wings tonight. Okay. I can't help it. They're on my mind. A single serving of wings, it's 25 wings. Okay. Well, there'd be less wings if I made other things, but my personal chef. Oh yeah, that's me. Actually, I'm just reheating leftovers today. I got them yesterday at the store, the pre-made wings, and I just got to nuke them tonight. A simple dinner for a simple guy. Okay. Yeah, I haven't really looked at any of the other platforms. The only one that I'm involved with at all is YouTube. I have no desire to be on X, or I'm not going to advertise this show on those other outlets or platforms, whatever you want to call them. I have no desire. Well, when I decided to do this project, I told myself that I got to give it 3 years to give it a fair shot. So, as long as things are moving, on the upward trajectory, as far as the subscribers and the viewing hours, and eventually getting my media company monetized, I'm good. As long as it's moving forward. I haven't looked at the analytics at all this week. I glanced at them over the weekend, and I saw that YouTube gave me a little sticker type thing, told me I was doing a great job. So, why should I change anything? I worked on the lighting, and I'm happy with it. It's not perfect, but neither am I. So close enough is okay. I'm not a real detail-oriented guy. I used to be. Okay. Used to be real sharp and paid attention to every minute detail. And now it's the exact opposite. I don't care. Okay. Close enough is close enough. In my opinion. Okay. Probably not yours. You guys probably are much more detail oriented, like I used to be. I don't. I don't sweat the small stuff anymore. I have no desire to micromanage anybody, let alone myself. Okay. I don't care. Well, I realize that, not paying attention to every detail is probably a fault. I can accept it. I'm not perfect. Jump in the chat. We'll talk about it. And maybe you can make me perfect. I don't know. In order to chat, you have to have another device, your phone, tablet, or computer. Go to YouTube and download their Discord app, which is also free. And then you can jump in here and chat to your heart's content. No charge for anything that I'm doing. It's free. Gatorade. Replenishing my electrolytes. It's a new thing. I started paying attention to the doctor. Not that much attention. I mean, but the older you get, the more you listen to these professionals. It's almost as if they're educated and know what the heck they're talking about. Okay. 30 years ago, I didn't listen to no doctors. Okay. Now I'm okay, you know, but I have a different lifestyle nowadays. I got one speed now. I call it if and when. If and when I get there, I'm sure I'll be right on time. Okay. I know you guys are all busy. I know you guys are in a hurry. I got kids. They're busy. They're in a hurry, you know, constantly. It's just not that's not my MO anymore. Yeah. Getting ashes all over my front of myself. Yeah, the beard's a little unruly today. I combed it. I mean, I put the softener on it and whatnot, but it is what it is. I brushed my hair. Okay. I am wearing an overshirt. I've been doing really good on it lately. You know, I'm still toying with the idea of putting my hair in a ponytail and trying to clean my act up a little bit, but as long as the chat's not populated, no one's pressuring me to do anything. So good luck. I doubt that I'll do anything. Okay. Just sit here. Yeah. I have no idea what's really going on in the world right now. I censored myself over the course of the evening, and I didn't intake any news. Well, I figured if there was anything good, I would have heard something. So, okay, there is no good news that's publicized anymore. So, I believe that sometimes you gotta self censor. Otherwise, you'll drive yourself nuts caring about all this stuff that you can't control, you can't fix. I saw news a couple of days ago. It's close enough. Maybe I'll check on it tomorrow. I'll be watching TV tomorrow for Thursday night football, so I'll probably intake some news somewhere. The only thing I'm clicking in right now is information on the Lions and Chiefs game coming up on Sunday night. As far as I'm a Lions fan. Okay, not trying to slam anyone else's team. I'm just saying I'm a Lions fan. So if I see something Lions related on my feed, I generally click in and read it or listen to it or watch it or whatever. Well, as far as I'm concerned, Lions are 16-1 and destined to win the Super Bowl this year. Well, until they prove me different, they're going to be 16-1. I haven't seen anything to lead me to believe that they're going to lose another game. I know Kansas City is coming together, and a lot of you probably think I don't. I think the Lions will run roughshod over them, just like they do everybody else. Well, have you seen that team? I mean, that offense is, I think they'll be setting records. Beginning of the season, I was thinking, well, they'll probably have a half a dozen games out of the 17. The half a dozen games will probably be, that they're scoring in the 50s. They just got more weapons than everybody else. I mean, they all have the same number of players, but I think that the offensive players for the Lions are superior. Their starting wide receivers, I believe, are all number one wide receivers if they were playing on another team. Jameson Williams, they call him our number two, but he's one of the fastest men in football, and he tries to catch everything. Even our rookie, Tesla, catches everything you throw at him. Isn't that what a number one wide receiver does? Okay. I follow the Lions. I was born here in Michigan, so I grew up watching the Lions. Well, back in the day, they had Billy Sims and then Barry Sanders and, Calvin Johnson, I think right now they've got the best 53-man roster they've ever had. So I look forward to seeing the Lions games. When I originally set up this show, I determined the hours by making sure that it didn't interfere with any of the Lions games. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on Thanksgiving, whether I'm going to do this show or not. If the Lions are going to be on TV, I'm probably not going to do the show that day. I'll probably just, I don't know. Maybe I could open up the chat and do the show while I'm watching the game. Who knows? We'll see. I don't want to make a football show, okay? But I don't want to miss my team playing. On YouTube, I watch a couple of different sportscasters. I follow Mike Kimber and I follow Tom Grossi. And if push comes to shove, I'll watch Brandon Perna. Okay. Well, these guys are more comedic than mainstream sports media, They've got some personality. It's entertaining. Well, Mike Kimber does Lions Talk by Chad Sports. He's been doing it for years. I've been watching him for years. Occasionally I'll chat with him, but, it's rare that I get on and chat with anybody. I've been watching Tom Grossi for years, and I can't remember ever chatting with him. Okay. I wrote him a couple of letters. He was having difficulties with Spectrum. I guess they finally upgraded the area that he moved to, and his problems have been eliminated. But, well, I had serious issues with Spectrum when I started this channel. Well, what it boils down to is their Wi-Fi isn't all it's cracked up to be. I was having connectivity issues, and I was unable to have a 2-hour live stream. And I'm like, why? Everybody else is live streaming. Why can't I? So I'd get booted off, and then I'd call Spectrum, and about, I don't know, 2 weeks into it, they finally come up with a suggestion. Why don't I hardwire my laptop directly to my router? So that's what I did. And now it's working, but it leaves serious questions as to the quality of Spectrum's Wi-Fi. Seems totally inadequate to me. I don't know. Maybe that's the upgrade that they just fixed for Tom Grossi. I don't know. Well, I don't want to spend the whole 2 hours bashing Spectrum, but if their Wi-Fi isn't good enough to work, I mean, would you run a business based on a product that was inferior? I wouldn't. It strikes me as odd charging me for Wi-Fi and it's unable to perform. Well, I look at it like, their product just isn't as good as they think it is, or as they're trying to tell people it is. I'm on the phone with the guy and he's telling me, well, hold your equipment up in the air, or pull it out in front of the TV, or, is there a window nearby? If it's suffering that much from interference, it's probably not a good router. Okay. It seems to me if the router was up to snuff, their Wi-Fi would work regardless of what else I got in my living room. Personal opinion, not a recommendation. I'm currently looking into another internet provider. I'll tell you that. Well, I don't want to say what company I'm looking at, but we'll see. You never know what I'm going to do down the road. At least I don't. Okay. We'll see. It'll all work out in the end. Right now, I'm going to stick with Spectrum because the show's working. I'm on the air 5 days a week. So hopefully it'll all work out in the long run, even if I do end up changing companies. But I gotta go through and I gotta do some computer work for the channel here. I think I got comments turned off, and I created a Patreon page, but I never activated it. I got loose ends. Okay. I'll get to them eventually. There's no hurry. There's no pressure. I don't feel any pressure. Do you? I mean, it'll all work out. I'm not going anywhere. And it's a smoker's cough, excuse me. Well, that's just your proof that I'm not AI. AI wouldn't have coughed. Okay. You've got your evidence. What more do you need? I think life is good. It's different being retired, or well, now semi-retired because I've started this project, but you know, it's different. My whole life is different than it used to be. Well, I used to have short hair. I was clean shaven. I wore a suit and tie and went to work. Okay. None of that happens now. Only time I put on a suit now is when somebody dies, which happens too often. I think that's why many seniors end up with, issues being lonely. All your friends and relatives die off eventually. I saw one the other day. Dick Van Dyke is about to turn 100 in December or something, you know. At 99 years old, I got to believe most of the people that he knew in his lifetime have passed. I mean, it's just, Hey, Jacob. No, you don't have to worry about donating. I'm good, Jacob. The channel overhead is only $13.99 a month. I can fade that. Okay. I do need the like and subscribe stuff, and I do need the viewing hours, but that's not particular to this show. That's for my media company. I need to get them monetized eventually. Where are you from, Jacob? Ah, New York City. I have avoided that. This will crack you up. I have avoided going to New York City my entire life. Okay. Because of the size of it and the number of people. It's just too crowded, in my opinion. Okay. Well, I was the table games dealer in Las Vegas. And when I moved there in 1980, it was a small town. You could actually walk across all of Las Vegas in 45 minutes walking when I moved there. Now you can't drive across the town in an hour. But yeah, I almost went to New York. I wanted to go to Woodstock. Okay. That might show you how old I am. Sorry. But my parents wouldn't let me go. So I didn't get to go to Woodstock. So I'm like, well, if I didn't get to go to Woodstock, what's the point in ever going to New York City? You know, I've seen other big cities. I spent 5 years when I was young. I spent 5 years hitchhiking around continental United States. Oh yeah, I've seen the photos. Upstate New York is gorgeous. I got a I got a hunch upstate New York's a lot like Michigan, only with fewer lakes. We've got like, I don't know, thousands upon thousands of lakes here in Michigan. What do you do for a living up there? I had Bode. Oh, a bodega. Nice. Small businesses are the best. They treat their employees like human beings. I love small businesses. I have a New York story for you, though. This is a pretty funny one, I thought. Years ago, I'm dealing in Vegas, probably blackjack, and a guy comes up. Well, two guys come up, and they're telling me this story that had just happened to them. They were bartenders in New York City, and a couple comes into the bar, and they're already drunk, and they're fighting. One of them goes to the one end of the bar, and the female goes to the other end, and they both get served before the bartenders realize that they're intoxicated or that they're fighting, right? Long story short, the woman takes her fresh drink, throws it the length of the bar, hits her boyfriend or husband or whatever in the face and cuts him. They sued the bartender and the bar. Both of them did. They sued the bartender for $16,000 and the bar for $8,000. And these guys were telling me that they couldn't be bartenders in New York unless they had their own liability insurance. It was a crazy story. I couldn't believe it. They $16,000 and $8,000. And how can a bartender afford to have his own liability insurance? The bartender doesn't own the property, right? And he's not like a doctor. He's not doing surgery. I remember that day real well because another guy at the table told me that, and this was 20 years ago. He told me that he was paying $350 a month for a parking space in Manhattan, just for a parking space. The problem is they've got so many people, they can charge anything they want, and somebody will pay the price. But as a table games dealer that I was, I couldn't imagine if I would have had to have my liability insurance. That's just ridiculous. Were you born and raised there in New York City? Queens. Oh, you must be Donald Trump's cousin. Just a joke. Okay. I know that he's from Queens, right? Brooklyn. I dated a girl who was from Brooklyn. She was hot. Latina. Hot girl. Yeah. She dumped me quick though. Yeah. It must have been hard though, growing up in a town that size. Wow. Did you feel like you were real tiny and the whole world was big? That See, I grew up in a small town. Yeah. The traffic that I see on TV or on the internet, it would make it hard to just cross the street without getting hit by a cab. Okay. I mean, it's too busy, too many people. See, I grew up in a small town, like population 50,000. And, you know, at 8 years old, I could walk across town, go to my grandpa's house, or we could get on a city bus and go to the lake and go swimming. You know, you don't got that in no big city. Okay. I left Vegas and it was pretty much there as a big city, and it was a major lifestyle change. Yeah, I was in shock when I actually left Southwest Michigan. I couldn't believe that every town didn't have several lakes within the city limits. I thought that was normal. I had no idea. It's just like I thought everybody had been to the Great Lakes. Where I grew up, I was 50 miles from Lake Michigan. We went there every summer. It was nice as a kid. Then I got out there in Vegas for 33 years, and they have Lake Mead out there, but Lake Mead it's a man-made lake. It's not a natural lake. If you punch it up on your computer, you can look at the pictures. There's not a tree anywhere around. It's high desert. Hey, it was nice meeting you, Jacob. Come see me every day, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5. I appreciate you, brother. And stay safe. Nice guy. See, that's why I'm doing this. I get a chance to meet nice people, find out what's going on in their part of the world, what's on their mind. And I just find it very stimulating, very exciting. Yeah, I'm envious of him getting to work in a bodega like that, a small business. It's like working with family. You know what I mean? Everybody treats everybody with kindness and respect, and you know everybody's on the same team. I worked in the casinos in Vegas, and I had you know 1,000 employees that worked there that I didn't even know. You know, well, to me, back in the day, you were working for tips, and if the tips were better across the street, you always changed jobs and you went for the upgrade. So you never stayed at one employer more than a couple of years. I think the longest I ever stayed at one employer was like 5 years. It paid me money to move on. I got, sometimes I was doubling my wage. It makes a difference. Well, you're going to be there for an 8-hour shift. But if you're making $50 for an 8-hour shift in tips at one place and $100 for an 8-hour shift at another place, you want to go to the $100 one, right? I think that's just normal. But, that also, they had no real benefits. You know what I mean? I mean, you could get profit sharing after you'd been with a company for a year or two, but, their 401k contributions were minimal. And I always avoided New York City just because of the number of people there. I got burnt out on people working in Vegas. And then when I took vacations, I like to go to places where there were no people. The 14,000-foot peaks of Colorado, I played in for many, many years. It was like a 10-hour drive to get there, but once you were there, you could go, literally weeks without seeing people up on the Continental Divide. I did hunting and fishing in the high mountain streams and lakes. Well, a couple of weeks up there being by yourself, and then you come back to the city and being around people was fun again, right? I don't care what you do, there's a burnout factor. Anything that you do repetitively over years of time, I think it's to the benefit of your sanity to get away from it when you're on vacation, to go and do something different. My opinion. I'm looking forward to this chat and getting to meet people from all over the world again. I missed all of that from the casino. I didn't miss the obligation of having to do the 40-hour work week or the 60-hour work week or whatever, But I missed the interactions with the people and the friendliness of people. I met friendly people from every country on the planet, I swear. It was unreal. Even when there was a language barrier, people would still smile. They'd still tip you, I realized that people are inherently nice. They're kind. They're courteous, You can't tell that by watching the news, When you hear about, well, take a country like Germany, right? The German people are nice. They're very friendly. I met a number of them, My sons still do. My sons travel the globe and they meet people. And yeah, I think the latest one was my youngest son was up swimming in the Baltic Sea. He enjoyed Germany a lot. My oldest spent a lot of time in China. Had a good time, met a lot of nice people. The governments on these countries, they're trash, just like our own government here is trash, right? But the people of those countries, they're beautiful people. They're nice. Their culture is very interesting. It's entertaining. I like meeting people a lot. Hence this show. Okay. Excuse me. And I think it probably another month, this show is going to take off. And we'll have a steady stream of people in here to talk to every day. There's no charge for this. It's free. Nothing fake about me. I'm real. Okay. Not trying to hustle anybody. Why should I hustle anyone? Everyone else is hustling. I'll let them do that, and I'll just carve my own path. That's what I've done my whole life. I like the outdoors. I don't hunt anymore, but well, I kind of lost interest in shooting when my vision went. You know, when I had young eyes, I was a crack shot. And as the vision started to fade, even with glasses, shooting just wasn't the same. I wasn't excellent at it. I was just good. You know what I mean? And when you're used to being excellent at something, to just be good, it's not the same. Well, it's like if you're bowling and you got a 200 average, and now all of a sudden your average drops down to 150, you're like beating yourself up every time you go bowling. It's just not good enough for you. You're not getting the same enjoyment out of it that you were getting when you had a 200 average, you know? It's fun to me to do things that I'm excellent at. I'm not going to go out of my way to do things that I am poor or not up to snuff. You know what I mean? Personal opinion. I liked playing cards when I was young, but then after becoming a table games dealer and dealing cards for 30 plus years, I don't play cards anymore. I don't associate it with fun. I associate it with work in my brain. I used to play hearts, spades, euchre, cribbage, double deck pinochle, right? Loved all those for many, many years. Did all of them all the time. Now I never play cards at all. Well, there's a little more to that story too. People see me handle the cards, and then they always think I'm going to cheat. Well, I got really good at handling cards. I was playing a game a few years back with some family members, and I didn't know the game, so they thought, it'd be fun to play. And we got down to the nitty gritty, the end of the game, and I had a card that I hadn't looked at, and I told them all what it was, and it freaked them out. Well, I've seen all the other cards, so I know what this one is. Whether I'm thinking about it or not, my right brain is just going to recognize, well, you've seen everything but the 7 of hearts. That's got to be the 7 of hearts. And then you turn it over and everybody looks at you like you're cheating, It's not fun. It's like doing math. Okay. My mind used to be really sharp. I did math all day, every day. And got good at it. I remember driving my son home from school, my youngest, and he's in the back seat and he's doing his math homework, and he asked me a question. And we get home from school, we get to the house, and I go to check his homework, and he's writing little notes at the bottom of each of his math problems. And this one says MM. And I'm like, well, what's MM? He says, mental math. He says, I did that one in my head. I'm like, oh, okay. And then the next one said CAL, CAL. And I said, what's CAL? He says, calculator. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then the next problem said FAT. And I'm like, what's fat? He says, father. Oh, okay. I gave him the answer while we were driving. Right? I did math all the time. I walked around those casinos for years telling people numbers are free. I give them to anybody. Now, having been retired for, 13 years or whatever, I don't use my math skills on a daily basis anymore. And it's to the point now where I don't even trust myself. Now I want to double check with a calculator. Okay. I didn't used to be that way. People used to think I was part calculator. Okay. But, it's what you do for your job, you get good at. It's just based on the sheer repetition of it all. Right? My father, he's 87 and retired now, and he knew metallurgy. He worked in the factories in Michigan here, and he held 4 different journeyman's cards. And he could tell you, what tool you need to cut that metal, depending on how deep you wanted to cut it and how fast you wanted to. He knew all of this stuff. I would never have anywhere near that kind of knowledge, even if I were to go to school for it, okay? Because he lived it and he worked it for 40, 50 years, The professionals in any industry is going to be better than any current education that you can possibly get. They've seen it all. They've done it all. Just by the sheer repetition. And I knew people that, had gaming skills that were beyond. I mean, they were just beyond any expectations. They were better. I knew a kid, trying to think of his name, Pat Suksandeo. He was from, I'm thinking Thailand or something. He was a table games dealer. He looked at a stack of chips. I'm telling you, this stack was, high. And he could glance at it and tell you exactly how much was there. He'd been doing it for years. He could look at it and say, oh, that's X amount of dollars. And then we'd run it down and he'd be right every time. He just got used to it. Anything that you do repetitively, that's the way the human mind works. That's the way the human brain works. If you keep doing something over and over again, you're going to get really good at what you do. I don't care what it is. So, afternoon chat, that's the show. Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jump in the chat. Tell us what's on your mind. What do you want to talk about today? You can be the star of this show. If you've ever wanted to talk to your TV, now's your chance. All right? There's no charge. There's no commercials. No hustle. And there's no subject that's off limits. I don't care. As long as we're staying within the community guidelines of YouTube and we're not getting into trouble with YouTube, we're golden. If I don't know something about the subject you want to talk about, I'll tell you. Okay. I'm not all knowledgeable. Okay. And I'm never going to pretend to be. I'm just one guy sitting on his couch looking to have a conversation. If you want to get into the chat, you're going to have to use another device. You can't just do it on your TV. Unless you've got like the latest, smart TV with all the bells and whistles. I guess you could be able to. I think that's what they're designing this stuff to get to do eventually. But for right now, you got to use your phone or a tablet or a computer or something like that. Go to YouTube, download the Discord app, which is also free. And then you'll be able to chat about anything. I enjoy talking to people, but we don't have to talk about what's on my mind. We can talk about what's on yours. We can talk about anything you want to discuss. I go down these little rabbit holes because I'm just sitting here talking to my computer. Okay. Well, if you want to stop me from going down a rabbit hole, jump in the chat and say, hey, Ghost, shut up. You've crossed a line. You've gone too far. I'm sure I do it all the time. Probably every day. But I think we're on the right track here. YouTube is finding its people. They are jumping in the chat. They are talking now. It's just going to be a matter of time before their algorithm sorts this show out and puts us in front of all the right people. They're making progress. It's Wednesday, and I think I've already had 3 or 4 people in the chat this week. It's progressing. Okay. That's all we can ask for. I'm not feeling any pressure, and I hope you aren't either, I have to ask for the likes and subscribes and the viewing hours, but that's so that eventually I can get the channel monetized so that my media company can post other things and actually make money. This show is not going to be for profit. Not now, not ever. You'll never find a sponsor here. You're never going to find a commercial. You're never going to find a hustle on this show. This show is so I can get a chance to talk to people and meet people. I met Jacob today. Super nice man. That's what I'm interested in. It's not complex. Sorry. I got no other ulterior motives. And I'm not coming out with a line of merch. Okay. It's not going to happen. Eventually, my media company is going to be doing other projects, and those will be for profit. But that will have nothing to do with this show. I find it really refreshing that I'm one of the only people on TV that is doing something for free. It's like Jacob asking me if I wanted someone to donate. No, this is not a hustle, okay? This is just a conversation. I got no scam. Sorry. You can count on the rest of the world to scam you, okay? You don't have to rely on me for that, all right? Ghost Mostly merchandise is never going to be available anywhere, okay? It's just not. I'm looking at putting some other stuff here in the background, some colors, something to jazz it up a little bit, Well, I think it's a plus that I'm wearing an overshirt now. It creates a little more contrast. But, I'm pretty slow. Okay, it could take me a while to get stuff back there. I was thinking about stained glass. I don't know why. But for right now, I think the black that you see here on the couch, when the chat goes up the screen, I think it makes it easier to read. I'm just happy that it's all working now and I'm not having the mechanical failures, the connectivity issues, as they were called. But I'm enjoying this. It makes me feel like I got something going on in my life now. It's very interesting to me. And I've been talking, to people from different parts of the globe. I had a guy from Turkey yesterday, Emir. He was a nice guy. I think the world is more connected than most people realize. You don't realize that, it's like your car. You go to the dealership and you buy a car. Those parts all came from a different part of the globe. And they were all assembled somewhere, right? It's a conglomeration. And I think that's how our lives are. We don't realize when you go to the grocery store and buy, the tangerines I was talking about yesterday. I bought tangerines and I was sitting and reading the label, and the dang things were grown in the country of Turkey. I had no idea. They were good tangerines. What can I tell you? Okay. They were juicy, flavorful. I liked them. I think I bought them for 3 or 4 weeks in a row until they were gone from the shelves. Well, produce is seasonal, you know. Well, they got other tangerines from other countries, I'm sure, too, you know. But I'm saying that I don't think the people realize how interconnected we all really are. I mean, excuse me, if you import something, oh, I got this from China, or oh, I got this from Vietnam, or, but so many of the parts, it's like, if you bought a refrigerator, do you know where that refrigerator parts, where they all came from? No, you don't. And they could be from all over the globe, or they could be just from your country. You have no way of knowing. Well, they don't declare that, you know. If you go buy a washing machine, it doesn't say on there, 17 parts came from this country, and the other remaining parts all came from this country. You don't know. We're all interrelated. And I don't care what country you live in, everybody's got to go to work every day in order for it to work. We found that out with the pandemic. During the pandemic, the first thing we came to realize is nothing's working. Because all over the globe, nobody was going to work. If we all go to work, it all functions. But when we stop working, none of it works. None of it functions. The labor force, the worker, is one of the greatest natural resources we've got from this planet. Without the worker, nothing is going to function. Nothing is going to be what it is when it's all working. Does that make any sense? Well, it did in my mind. I don't know. Maybe I'm not expressing myself properly. No, I haven't smoked a bowl yet. I'll do that after the show. Well, I don't know if I can smoke marijuana on stream. I have no idea. Well, I probably would have to read the terms of service and all that crapola, I might do it someday. I mean, read. Some days I feel like doing more research than I do. And other days I have no desire to do research at all. I guess it just depends on which way the wind's blowing on which day. I think this channel is probably going to be up and running before snow flies. I mean, we're going to have people in here on a regular basis. Well, nobody knows that the show's here. The only marketing we have is, who does YouTube choose to put this show in front of? Who is it recommended to? I have no idea. And I'm just letting YouTube do their thing. They'll find the people that want to participate in this show eventually. It's what they do. According to everything I read on YouTube when I was starting this, right? Their algorithm analyzes the live stream and they determine who they need to market us to for us to be successful. I'm now running out on all these other platforms and doing shorts or commercials or advertising this show. I'm letting YouTube do their thing. And you know what? YouTube's letting me do my thing. So it's all working out. The show will get to where it needs to be eventually. These things just take time. But as long as we're patient, it'll all work. It'll all come out in the wash. Well, it's one of the things I found out about life. It's all going to work out the way it's supposed to eventually. Yeah, I got a little bit of a stiff neck today. I don't know, maybe I slept wrong or something. Well, it'll fix itself. I'm not going to run out to a chiropractor right now. Okay. I enjoy what I'm doing. This is fun to me. And I'm hoping that you guys enjoy it too. I know I can have a tendency to fall down these rabbit holes of conversation. But unless you get into the chat and straighten me out, that's what we're stuck with, is whatever's rattling around in my cranium here. Who knows? Okay. Could be anything. I've had a very unique life, different than anyone you've ever met, I can guarantee you. I left home at a young age. I spent 5 years hitchhiking around the country and ended up moving to Vegas and becoming a table games dealer and working my way up through the corporate hierarchy. And by the time I retired, I was a casino shift manager. It was fun, it was interesting, and I made a decent living and was able to raise my kids. But the only thing I miss is the meeting the people. I don't miss going to work every day, believe me. You get a chance to retire, I strongly suggest you do it. It's probably better for your health. Well, stress is killing people all over the planet. You don't know just to look at a person. You don't know how much stress they're dealing with in their life. How could you know? But there are things that we have to accept in life, and one of those things is that we don't have control over everything. You cannot micromanage your entire life. It won't work. There's too many things that you can't control. It'll be interesting to see the analytics after this week because, like I said, things are improving. We're getting more views. We're getting more subscribers, more likes. As it all progresses, it's going to grow the channel. And I think it'll be real interesting. I'll probably look at the numbers and stuff on Saturday or Sunday. I don't get buried in the analytics on a daily basis. It's, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be, you know. Those numbers will still be there for me to look at next week. Okay. I don't want to create more homework for myself. I've sacrificed 10 hours a week here for this show, right? 5 days a week for 2 hours a day, 10 hours. And I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to do this for a period of 3 years. That's what I determined it would take to make an honest attempt to build a chat community that wants to talk in the middle of the afternoon. It's nuts to think that you could do it in less time than 3 years. You know what I mean? Most of the successful YouTubers I see that are interacting with live chat, they've been doing it for, 7 to 10 years. I've enjoyed talking to people for many years, so I think this whole path kind of fits in with my work history, meeting people and hosting them and talking. It's the same thing I did on a blackjack table or a roulette wheel or a crap table. Only in this context, I don't have to take money from them. That's what I disliked about doing it in the casino, is when they lost, I had to take their money and give it to the casino. I've avoided the unpleasantness of that. Okay. I mean, I would have preferred to have a 33-year career where I was paying everybody every time. But, the casino wouldn't let me cheat. No, for some reason they wanted it all to be legit. Yeah, it's amazing how that works. But feel free to jump in the chat, voice your opinion, change the subject, whatever you guys want. You guys are the star of this show, not me. I'm just a ghost. I mean, am I really here? Okay. I don't think so. You guys are the ones that are busy. You guys are the ones that got a life. Right? I'm retired. I'm not busy. I recognize that I used to be busy, All those years in Vegas, I think I was trying to fit, 30 hours into every 24-hour day. I was always trying to do more than I had time to do. Most of my adult life, I got between 4 and 5 hours sleep a night because I was busy. Raising kids, working. I always had a side hustle going on. I was always doing something. I miss Vegas a little bit as far as, going and seeing all the shows and that kind of stuff. But, I go to the movies once in a while here. I was thinking I could write a play and get some actors and film it, edit it, and then put it out online. I think that concept, just the rough concept, not any individual details or anything, but just the entire thing seems quite interesting to me. Well, I could write a play about something that was on my mind or something that I saw, or maybe recreate something that I saw in history. I've seen a lot of history. I've been around a lot of years now. I'm old enough to know that I don't want to tell you my age. Yet I'm young enough to know that I probably shouldn't tell you my age. I'm just old enough. I can do everything I want to do, so I'm okay. It's it's been life has been good. Very proud of my children and my granddaughter. She's awesome. She's 17, just started her first job. Started her first job and then got employee of the month the first 2 months. I'm excited to see what she ends up doing the rest of her life. My boys, I got two sons. Oldest is 51, youngest is 28. If you do the math on that, you're going to find out that I had my children 23 years apart. I told you I was unusual. No one has ever, you know, I've had a very unique life. You got to believe me when I tell you that. Okay. I wouldn't lie to you. The first 5 years after leaving home, I traveled the continental United States. That was before the internet. If I want to see Florida now, I'll punch up Florida. But back in the day, if you wanted to see what Florida was, what choice did you have? You had to go to Florida. So I did. Okay. I don't recommend that kind of stuff. Nowadays, I mean, you can pick up live cameras from all over the planet. I've seen some, you know. Well, just offhand, I remember my youngest was in Costa Rica talking to me one night on a satellite phone, and he said that he was about 20 miles away from a active volcano that was erupting. And I asked him the name of the volcano, and I punched it in and pulled up a live feed camera, and I could sit there and watch the same volcano erupting that he was watching, and he was in Costa Rica. Okay. That's the technology of today, is you don't have to go there to see what's going on there. But I would rather talk to someone from Costa Rica that's there to find out what's going on in Costa Rica versus looking up the Costa Rican news broadcast, right? I'd rather hear it from people, you know, find out firsthand. Why rely on an unreliable source like television? It's like our news here in the United States. It's all propaganda now. There's nothing real about it. They're withholding news from you, just like they're showing you a biased version of the news. And the bias is serious. They've got not just their thumb on the scale, they've got, all their body weight on it. They're not telling you the whole truth, right? They're giving you opinion and trying to tell you that it's fact. Well, facts and figures do not lie. People do. Personal opinion. Okay. That's all I can offer is my opinion from my perspective, what I've seen in my lifetime. And I determine that people lie. Well, you do have a liar that it's pathological. Some people have to lie in order so that they can feel that they participated. But in a general sense, it's been my life experience that people lie for 3 reasons. People wish to hide their greed. People wish to hide their shame. And people like to hide their fear. Now, it could be any combination of the 3, but I'm telling you, this is why people lie. It's the same as putting on a disguise. I don't want you to know the truth, you know. Excuse me. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't allow liars to be in my life. Somebody lies to me and I tune them out quickly. Okay. I'm not going to waste my time on somebody that's telling. I'm just not. One of the things that I've always done, I make a list. On one side of the paper, I put in positive influences on my life. On the other side of the paper, I list the negative influences on my life. And that can include people like liars. Then when I'm determining my schedule, I'm going to consciously find more time for the positive column, and I'm going to consciously find less time for the negative column. And eventually, over time, that negative column disappears. And all you've got left are the positive influences on your life. And you're feeding that with your schedule. All your time, all your effort goes into those positive influences on your life. Your life has got to get positive. Scheduling time for negative influences on your life, there's no value in that. You're not going to get anything out of it except negative. Why waste your time on a negative person that lies to you when you can purposely schedule more time for a positive person, someone who is a positive influence on your life, right? Common sense. You got good and you got bad. Which one do you want to feed? You know, whichever one you feed is going to grow. You know, which one are you wanting to feed? Okay. I choose for the positive column. I'm going to purposely schedule more time for a person that is a positive influence on my life. The same amount that I'm going to purposely schedule less time for the negative person on my life, right? Personal opinion, personal preference. That's the way I roll. What about you? Do you think you can charge into that negative column and fix it all? Good luck with that. If someone comes up to me in my life and they start lying to me and I know they're lying, I can feel it in my bones that they're lying, I purposely find less time for that person. And that includes politicians. Okay. If a politician lies to me, I write him off. Next. Okay. Why should I waste my time? Well, our current president, in his first term, he told a bunch of lies. I wrote him off then. Okay. Loser. That's the way I see it. Right. I can't say that, about people I've never interacted with. I don't know. I'm not going to put them in that loser category. But people that I've interacted with or people that I know are going to be negative liars or just basically untrustworthy. Why would I waste my time? How could that benefit me? I'm not going to try and fix you if you're broken. Okay. It's not my job. I'm not going to micromanage you. Okay. Well, that's what I've been ending the show with. Is my live and let live philosophy. I don't believe that you need to live up to my expectations. At the same time, I believe I'm not required to live up to your expectations. I believe the best course of action is for me to worry about me, you to worry about you. Live and let live. I'm not going to try to micromanage my neighbors. There's no future in it. There's no plus side. If you and I disagree, okay, we disagree. What's wrong with that? I don't know your perspective. You don't know my perspective until we get into a chat room and we talk it out. You don't know what somebody else is going through. Well, let's just say a total strangers across the street. You look out your window and you see him. You don't know what's on his mind. You don't know what's on his plate. You don't know what the hell he's doing. Maybe he's on his way to work. Maybe he's on his way home. You don't know either way. Right? Live and let live. Let him do whatever the hell he wants. And he in turn should let you do whatever the hell you want. It's not my place to judge you. It's not my place to pick and choose for you. It's none of my business what you're doing. And vice versa. It's none of your business what I'm doing. You got no right to pick and choose for me. You got no right to try to micromanage me. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You got to get past it. Leave other people alone. The one that jumps to mind is the transsexual and the gun owner. These are pretty big in our society today, right? The transsexual guy wants to wear a dress. It's none of your business. Leave him alone. Guy wants to run around in the woods in his pajamas playing shoot 'em up. It's none of your business. Leave him alone. We don't need to go and make a whole new list of bathroom laws because Johnny decided to wear a skirt today. We don't need to go and make a whole bunch of gun ownership laws because Johnny Doe decided to go and shoot his gun today. It's none of our business. Leave him alone. Let that man do what he wants to do. Let that woman do what she wants to do. Take care of you. Focus on you and yours, what you can control. You may not like what that other person's doing. So what? He's not making you do it. Leave him alone. Okay? You can't pick and choose for someone. Try going up to your kid and telling them your kid who to date. Ain't gonna work. I don't care what you think. I don't care what that kid says. You ain't telling your kid who he can date and who he can't date. He's gonna date whoever he damn well pleases, regardless of what you say. You can't pick and choose for people. So you gotta learn to leave them alone. It's real simple. Put out patience, put out understanding, compassion. You want to yell at that guy because he cut across the corner of your lawn, but you have no idea what's on his plate. What if his kid's at home alone and he has to get there an hour ago? He needs that shortcut through your yard. Leave the man alone. He's gone. Ignore him. Don't try to micromanage. You don't know what's going on in his life. He doesn't know what's going on in your life. He doesn't know that the grass was worn out on that corner for the last 3 years and you just now finally got grass to grow there. He walked across it. It happened. Get past it. Don't micromanage that man. It's none of your business. It's none of your business because he's an individual. He's unique. Allow him to be unique. If you want to carry a gun, carry a gun. If you want to put on a skirt, put on a skirt. I don't care. It's none of my business. Same thing. If I want to let my hair grow long, don't be trying to tell me I got to cut it. If I want to grow a beard, don't be trying to tell me I got to shave. It's none of your business. Leave people alone. Live and let live. You can't pick and choose for people, and it's not your place to sit in judgment over them. They do not have to live up to your expectations, and you do not have to live up to their expectations. You can't be nitpicking people. It doesn't work. There's no light at the end of that tunnel, right? Oh, I harped at that neighbor every day for a week, and I finally got him to mow his lawn north and south like the rest of us. I'm the hero. No, you're not. You're the zero. Leave the damn man alone. If he wants to cut his lawn east and west, what do you care? As long as he's cutting his lawn, we're all golden. You can't pick and choose for people. You got to let live and let live. I know his culture is different than yours. So, don't be afraid of that other guy just because you don't know him. Don't let your prejudices get the best of you. Don't let your fears get the best of you. Let me put it to you this way. Does the Republican love his mother? I can say yes. Does the independent love his mother? I can also say yes. Does the Democrat love his mother? I can also say yes. But the same. You can't pick and choose, and you can't make that independent to be a Republican. You can't make that independent to be a Democrat. You can't do it. You don't have the power. You're never going to have the power. Accept it. Accept him for being an individual. He's different than you. So what? Live and let live. You can't pick and choose for people. These have double-edged swords. If I have the right to pick on you about something you do that's different than I do, doesn't that in turn give you the right to pick on me about something I do? That it's a double-edged sword. It cuts both ways. We have a freedom of speech. I can sit here and I can call you a jerk, but you in turn can turn and call me a jerk. So I got to have a thick skin and not be running home to mommy because you called me a jerk. Live and let live. If you think you can micromanage your neighbor, you're wrong. If your neighbor thinks he can micromanage you, he's wrong. Live and let live. It's pretty simple. This show is called Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghost Mosley. The show is on the air Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone is welcome here. Everyone has the right to voice their opinion. Everyone, and I do mean everyone, the Republican, the Independent, and the Democrat, they can all chat here. If you don't like it, it's too bad. I'm sorry. You got to get past it. There are some things in this world that you're not going to be able to change. Deal with it now. Grow up. You cannot control your neighbor. You have no right to control your neighbor. We all have a set of laws that we have to live within. All right? All of us. I don't care what country, they've got a set of laws. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? We're all the same. We all love our mothers, but we're all unique. You could tell your mother that you love her in Spanish. You could tell her that you love her in Chinese. Or you can tell her in English. I don't care. It's none of my business. I should just be thankful you're telling your mother that you love her. Okay? That's the way I see it. That's my opinion from my position on my couch. Okay? If you've got another opinion or you feel that you want to voice your opinion, this is the show you can do it on. Jump into the chat. Voice your opinion. I'm going to stick up for the people in the chat. I want to hear their opinion. I'm hoping their opinion is different than mine. I don't want us all to be out of a cookie cutter and all of us to be identical. Where's the fun in that? I'm telling you right now, put kindness out to everybody all the time, and you will feel the kindness coming back your way tenfold. Be patient with people. Be understanding. Be compassionate. You don't know what that man's got on his plate. You don't know what he's dealing with, and you have no right to try to control him. Leave each other alone. Be nice, be patient, understanding, be caring, be empathetic, be a good person, and hopefully he will do the same. You have the right to free speech in America. You do not have the right to hit someone in the mouth in America. It's illegal. You go to jail. You have the right to own a gun. You do not have the right to point it at another human being. You have a right to wear a dress if that's what you want to do. You don't have a right to require everyone else to wear a dress. Okay? All I'm saying is live and let live. The show's called Afternoon Chat, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. I'll be here tomorrow at 3 p.m. I'm looking forward to talking to you. I'm looking forward to meeting you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you joining this show. Like and subscribe if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. This is a 100% free show. 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. I'm telling you, I'll be here. Okay? Thank you for your time today. And hey, Durf, I'm sorry, but I'm signing off. I got like a minute left. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate you, brother. I hope your life is good. Okay? Come see me tomorrow at 3. Hit, notifications, so you get a reminder on your phone that we're on, okay? I'm Ghost Mostly, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening, all right? And be nice.